Hello, I was asked to give this one a go. I've not tried it before. This is a private server, so it's just me trying to run this all on my own. But we'll give it a go and see how it goes. This is modelled after a BWR, so that's a boiling water reactor. Again, not the one I know the most about.
No contamination. Please move forward.
You can see me immediately having a skill issue. This looks a little bit more wanted. It does look like a little bit more like places I visited. Some cool merch. I might get some later on. And we can pick up a soda. Why not? This game has 2 reactors. Oh, okay. That's an interesting place to be putting the emergency procedures. Can I open? No, I can't. Okay. Alfredo, welcome to the startup guide for Unit 1. This guide is intended to be followed step by step. Please don't do anything else, otherwise it could... You can use E to zoom in, and F. Okay. F to unlock our mouse. Please don't leave the control room with a guide enabled, as there is no roadblock. Oops. Okay, I won't do that. First, you'll go through each panel to familiarise you with all the equipment to continue. This is the ECCS safety panel. It's used in emergencies. So, emergency cooling system. We won't use it during the guide, but remember that the RCIC is the backup feed water pump, which does not require electrical power, and LPCI is electrically driven. But remember that it's electrical, low pressure coolant injection. So if the power goes out, we'll have to use the feed water pump because it doesn't need electrical power. But if we've got power, then we should be okay to use that. That's fine. The residual heat. What do they want? They have no respect for my time or space. I'm a visitor. Shut up. This is residual heat. So we're not shutting down the reactor yet. Let's just have a look at that. I mean, that seems fine to me. Except that it's highlighted the wrong bit. This is the residual. That's fine. This is the main reactor control panel. This is where you move the rods. So we've got a more in-depth way of doing things. It looks like we move them up in blocks rather than individually. We like that. This is the recirculation. Recirculation is used to mix water in the core and remove steam voids, but that's what I was talking about last time with steam voids. It is a secondary reactor control apart from the rods. Turbine control uses steam from the reactor to generate electricity. It's close to the main reactor controls. It's here as they affect its operations. What's this one? This is the main cooling panel. Its use is to maintain water flow in the main circuit between steam condensed into the hot well, deaerator and reactor vessel. It's important to have the right amount of water in each of these devices. Condenser panel. Condenser uses another water circuit to cool down steam and let it condensate, so that's in the huge... So that's what's allowing us to cool everything down back into water so we can put it back through the reactor. More steam and more cooling. Yeah. The aerator removes gases from the water. So I assume that just keeps it pure so it's not full of bubbles and everything, which we don't really want. This panel is used to control steam flow to maintain proper temperature and pressure. The electrical panel is all the electrical stuff. Okay. That doesn't appear to be telling us what it is, but it is just showing us the acknowledge and silence buttons. That's fine. Shut down cooling pods. They're located in the... Both should be off. In this plant, red means off and green means on. Well, I'd hope so. We'll be working with the reactor manually, but take some time to release ISO cells. This lever is to push and pull rods. It will either move all of them. Pull mode is selected on the switch on the left. Don't move the lever. Okay, that's fine. I wasn't intending to. This selects rod control speed, slow, medium, fast. Apart from that, the more that are selected, the slower they move. Okay, that's fine. Auto balancer will... Oh wow, we're getting quite technologically advanced here, are we? Okay. Reactor period is one of them that tells us how fast power is changing. This affinity of the reactor is stable. Large positive number means it's rising slowly. Low positive number beats quickly. Don't let it drop below 30 seconds. Negative number works the same for power decrease. SRM, IPRM and APRM. Average power range monitor. Something range monitor. Something power range monitor. Select 5%. Make sure the control mode is in rod mode. And enable auto control with the switch. And we've selected 5%. We now observe how auto control is pulling the rods out. I'm trying to keep the reactor above 30 seconds, which is considered safe. And meanwhile, let's apply some recirculation. Oh, it's my lucky day. So recirculation is what's pulling the cooling water back in. But it looks like we're going to be turning off. We've turned off the offline cooling pump. So I'm not quite sure what we're recirculating to or from. There are 2 pumps each. Select. You want all. This is occasionally not. Oops. So we're supposed to enable inlet and then the pump and then the outlet. Not the most sensitive of switches, but we can leave with that. Use both selectors to set the speed of both pumps to around 25%. Each selector has 2 positions to the right for increase and 2 for decrease. Do not go above the speed of 30%. This can cause cavitation, which we don't want. 16, 17, 18, 19, 23, and I think we will stop there. So the areas in which you have to click on this don't seem to be the most sensitive, but that's fine, I can work with that. We'll go back down to the first speed once we get to 20, just to avoid any unfortunate accidents. Like I said last time, cavitation is where you are moving more water out of the pumps than you actually have coming in, so you're ending with air in them. But we're above. Oh no, we're not. I don't know anything about how maths works. So it's rising steadily. You can see how our rods are balancing themselves. We don't seem to have a number. Oh, we do have a number. It's just not very bright. Nothing's terrible so far. I feel a bit more in control of this one than the last one. I think I can get coffee. while I'm here. Oh, they know how to treat me. Microwave's broken. Just like being at actual work. Would someone microwave a whole fish in a microwave once? So we're still rising on the area, so let's just have our coffee. But they even have evacuation procedures here. I feel very safe. Now we're out of source range and into intermediate power range. To focus on the IPR, it has a switch selected for the level 1 to 6 and an indicator showing 1 to 100. Start it at 1 and wait until it goes at 70 and then increment the selector. What's the Okay, so we need to wait to turn that one up. IPR is above 70%, we increase it. So now that's just telling me. So we're getting to the point where it's going to start alarming again. So let's go up to 3. Now we can go up to 4. Oh, sugar. I'm going! So we are on, what level are we on? We're on 4. So medium. So our neutron thing has stopped calling me. They need to learn his lesson about calling me when I'm busy. What? We can't have it. So you see our small neutron detector, that is saturated now. Finally, at a level 6 of IPR, we have a reliable reading for APRM, Average Power Range Monitor. I still don't know what that stands for. Oh, it tells me that APRM stands for Average Power Range Monitor, but it doesn't tell me what. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. As you will. Auto control is aiming at 5%. And we set that here, didn't we? Yes. Showed us the exact reactor. I can't see this, so it still hasn't told me what. Can I put that back? Put it in the bin. I don't want it anymore. Let's have a look at the auxiliary power. Focus on the reaction temperature gauge, 110. Once it reaches, so we're boiling now, we're in boiling water temperature, we like that. Set up now the rest of the systems. Let's get the main cooling power. Set up feed water pump 1, the same way that you do with recirculation. So the feed water pumps are here, look. That's giving us water into the reactor, so we've got water that's boiling off into fuel to steam. So the same way, so inlet, stump, pump, starter, and then the outlet. Now disable, re-enable, that's just one. Enable auto control. Splendid. I don't have to do anything now. You lied! I have to do that. So the feed water. Okay, so we're heating it up slightly. I'm just gonna ignore that one for now. don't know why that's so loud. Let's move to turbine control. Open the bypass valve to about 40%. Remember to put the switch back to neutral when it's done. I'm getting flashbacks to last time now. That's close enough. There you go. Observe the steam pressure gauge. The water is boiling, it will rise. When we open the bypass, we let steam go into the condenser, which reduces pressure. We want to eventually build the pressure to 7,100 kPa, which is our operating limit, but we're not yet ready for the turbine run-up, so a setting of 40%, so it's going back through the condenser rather than going through the turbine, should keep the pressure rising slowly. Let's move to the condenser panel. Enable both CAR. These are going to pull air out of the condenser. SJ8E number 1. So that's what the alarm was about. So that's fine now. Uncondensable gases will be ejected. That's fine by me. That's things like, I'm assuming, gases in the air that won't turn back into liquid. Now enable. We don't need it. Enable control. Nice. Aiming at about 40 to 70. Reaching this level so I can relax and just bringing the condenser pressure down because we're ejecting uncondensable air. So we're just currently venting stuff out of the condenser. It seems to pull the pressure down. Need to observe how auto control is managing the pressure. It said it's around 20% and it will later reduce it to about 10%. So we seem to be wanting a vacuum in the condenser, which I assume helps pull the water in. I feel very important sat in a chair like this. Now let's set up the deaerator. We don't have enough steam to make it. Provide steam to at least preheat, like an oven. Synchronizing the turbine is a bit tricky, but you do have to do it manually. So I'll explain how this works and I will try to guide you through. Don't enable it yet. We need a vacuum in the condenser. Synchronization switch in order to... I'm getting flashbacks now. When you open it, the first turbine will accelerate. On the other hand, it will slow it down. Okay. You already know the bypass. It should be closed during run-up. We need to open it with pressure too high. Don't close it yet. Turbine RPM and steam pressure are the two main gauges that you want to look at here. You want to run the turbine up to 3,600 RPM while remaining the pressure between 5,000 and 7,000 at the same time. Okay. Are you ready for the so as we're closing the bypass, that pressure is going up. Now open the inlet. So now our pressure is decreasing, but our RPM is increasing because we're forcing some of that pressure through the RPM, so now we've got a bigger space. I am not going to be opening that further. Oh jeez. What now? Okay. I'm just gonna do that. I think our RPM is fine, personally. Right. No. Shut up. So let's just close this a little bit. Our pressure is slightly low. Our pressure is just not high enough. Oh my good lord. This man can't make up his mind. I cannot do both of those things at once. You can have one or you can have the other. And right now we have neither. Synchron. Open turbine. We are going to run out of valve to open. Right. This might go terribly wrong. Stop calling me. Okay, what if I close this for a little bit? Then our steam pressure should build back up, right? If not, did I miss? Oh no, hang on. Our steam pressure is coming back up. We may be here sometime. Yeah, I know. I'm sorry, but around 20%. Sounds good to me. Sounds like that's what's occurring to me. Let's just pretend it's not on 85%. You cannot have me to do both things at once. I think we were impatient. We opened the valve too quickly. This should allow us. Okay, so let's leave it at 27%. Pressure is a look better this time. We'll just ignore that one for now. That one's not important right now. I think 24 is our sweet spot here, just for now. Let's go down to 23%. We're still gaining RPM, our pressure is still fine, it's just a lot slower. It's like flying a plane where the takeoff and landing are the dangerous parts. I'll switch to breaker sync. seem to remember last time we had the reverse power alarm, and that wasn't that urgent with whatever that is. Because I'm fed up with that noise. Don't click any switches until I tell you to. Okay. So we're actually drawing from the grid right now. That's fine. See how we're running up the power on this one? So that's the reverse power alarm over here. So I was right. That will resolve itself. This powers all the pumps. Okay. Seems like we are now powering ourselves of ourselves. Main bus A and bus B. We are. Needs to be started first. It takes some time. That's fine. A B powered. Can we also use startup as this? Okay. So we don't have to worry about powering that. HP use all its powers. Therefore, no matter what, we can always power this lower part. Okay. But it's the upper part that's going to be the problem. Let's enable all remaining pumps number 2 so we can use all reactor power. And we will be independent from the grid. So inlet, starter, outlet. Increase to 30%. That sorted itself out. You don't need to touch the rods anymore unless recirculation is not able to reach a certain power if it's stuck. 30% or 30% use the rods then. That would be stellar, but I can't see the react period. Okay, so we are ticking up on what the network was. If he calls me again, I might be rude to him. Malfunctions, events and leaks. I'd rather not. So, aside from the mishap with the turbines, which was entirely a me problem in the fact that I was a little bit impatient when it came to the run-up. This is what a stable reactor looks like. This could now, in theory, sit for months without shutting down. I believe some reactors run for years without shutting down. This is how it goes. This is what we're producing. So yes. In fact, I'm relatively sure I could leave this room and be fine. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. No! Oh my god! The cat is chasing me. The cat is chasing me. Reactor!